afternoon, my friends. Grim here. Hope you're doing well today. Thought I'd come at you with a brief video that encompasses an item update and a leveling update. Typically, of course, I do this at the beginning of each chapter, but there has been so much that's happened off camera, and the items featured herein are unique enough in that they're all basically added by the Creation Club stuff given to us via Anniversary Edition, that I thought maybe it merited its own video just for fun. So let's get into it. Thanks for checking this out. First thing to note, guys, is that we are level 50 as a result of our off-camera adventures, namely featured in the Halvar video. We, of course, power-leveled alchemy. I did a little bit more after I stopped recording and came back to the computer later that day. Got it all the way up to 73 without really, exploiting any glitches or utilizing any exploits. I almost said exploiting any exploits. I probably shouldn't phrase it quite that way. We have sunk also a few points into just this basic alchemist ability, because that's what we're doing after all, but perhaps more notably for now, we've also got Enchanting up to level 100, did that with the first level that we gained, and thus we now have the extra effect, which is part of why our item update is so momentous. This is where we start to get close to endgame items, I think. I've never gotten this far in Skyrim before where I'm double enchanting on the same item and having smithing all the way at 100, but here we are. Level 50, 100 enchanting, and we split the difference, I think, between health and stamina in the last few levels that we gained. So you're probably wondering what we enchanted. Maybe you caught a glimpse of it at the very beginning. This, my friends, is some of the coolest armor I've ever seen, and we've got Stalhrim fur armor. The effect admittedly slightly lessened by Halvar's feet disappearing through the ramparts of Treva's Watch, but never mind that Skyrim moment. This is really, really cool stuff. It just looks awesome, doesn't it? Front and back, absolutely great. It's got kind of the appeal of the regular Stalhrim armor in that it's got that icy feel, that frozen feel, the brilliant light blue that looks awesome in the sun or awesome if you're trudging through a blizzard up north. But the accents here, the fur everywhere, the sash across, that all makes it just look a little bit more cool. It makes the blue that much more brilliant where it exists, and it makes the whole thing more realistic and more subtle. We've got this gem on the sash. It just is pretty much my favorite armor that I've seen so far. And as far as its efficacy goes, oh, we gotta show you the helmet too. The helmet's definitely cool. You look cool with it, look cool without it. It's a unique helm as well. It doesn't feel very generic. It feels unique to the set. And you can pretty much be happy wearing it or not wearing it if you're somebody like Halvar, rocking it either way. But it is identical in stats and weight to regular Stalhrim heavy armor, which means that it is slightly stronger than Daedric armor. However, it's got +2 to armor rating over Stalhrim armor. So Stalhrim fur, I guess the fur gives you +2, technically a tiny bit stronger. And here's what we did with it, thanks to that double enchanting and our smithing skills, of course, nice and high as well. We've got 302 armor rating, and we just doubled up on health for the armor. We increased the health pool and the health regen. For the boots, we've got double shock, fire resist on the left, shock resist on the right, if you will. And for the gauntlets, we are going offensive mode, two-handed attacks and bows, both benefiting here. And finally, the helmet, bows, and lockpicking, 45% better. Now, the lockpicking, of course, may be the least impressive, but in terms of what we use for our character adventuring right now, the skills that we employ on even a semi-regular basis, lockpicking, believe it or not, is still the second most desirable one. We also used our newfound enchanting powers to good effect for our jewels, my friends. We've got a Nordic amulet that, just like our armor, doubles down on the health. I don't know if it's optimal to have 2 forms of health regen. Maybe we'd be better off with some kind of resistance here. I don't have any poison resist, but that doesn't seem to come up in the game that I've encountered yet too much, besides those dangerous plants in the Deadlands we saw last chapter. But, you know, even making some more commonly encountered resistance better might be nice. Either way, I like the bonus to the health pool. And the Nordic Ring. Here's where we double down on our resistance. In this case, it's fire resist. We have some natural frost resist as a Nord. Maybe we still could have bumped that up, but we are kind of replicating the near fire immunity that we used to have with that Dragonbone Mail. Now we no longer have that, but we've basically got it covered, thanks to double enchanting. Pretty cool stuff. And last but not least, my friends, you might have noticed a new blade on Halvar's back. It's not the most ostentatious blade of all time. It does look like it could be fraught with ancient power. There is this purple gem embedded near the hilt. This, of course, is Umbra, which is incredibly powerful compared to anything that Halvar has used thus far. This is both of our main melee weapons rolled into one, because if you read the final 2 abilities first, you're absorbing health and you're absorbing stamina. Remember that I voluntarily put an absorb health enchant on one of our most recent, in fact, our literal most recent main melee item, the Dragonbone Warhammer, and then absorbing stamina, very useful as well in melee combat especially, but this is also going to absorb some health gems, or sorry, some soul gems for us, and thus it is definitely very, very good in every way. It's everything all in one. It's super cool, and it is unique to my knowledge in terms of Skyrim melee weapons in having 3 enchantments instead of just 1 or 2. Here we are in Bleak Falls Barrow, my friends. We haven't been here since Chapter 1 or 2, how far we've come. And the bandits are just about as challenging as they were back then, because remember, despite our OP gear that we just went through, we are on legendary difficulty, so they might give us a bit of a fight. But even so, looks like we've got all kinds of advantages here. These bandits won't know what hit them. Especially when Halvar's horse starts getting into the mix. So, very cool kill there with Umbra. You see, you just get to see a lot of effects with it, which I like, because you get the red tinged effect when you're absorbing health, at the same time as the green tinged effect when you're absorbing stamina. And, of course, the soul harvest at the end, should you have a soul gem fitting the task, makes it that much cooler. I end this video on a sad note, my friends, because in addition to all of our level gaining and enchanting and smithing off camera, we also suffered a bandit raid here at Lakeview Manor, and the brave bard Llewellyn the Nightingale was slain. Just a reminder that no matter how powerful you get, you can't save everybody you care about. And also maybe a reminder that we need to get another bard up in here, because Llewellyn's singing days are done. So we're going to bring him over to the stables. A little bit of a more respectful, temporary resting place until we can figure something else out. I wanted to leave him out there so I wouldn't forget to give him his due, but there you go, guys. We've also done some archery training off camera with Serene Gerard. That's basically the only other thing to mention. Thanks for checking out this item in the leveling update. For people who've maxed out everything in Skyrim, the stuff is still probably not that impressive, but maybe something here is new to you. Maybe you just enjoy following Halvar's saga, which is story-driven and more casual, but still flexing with some sweet gear at certain stages, like right now. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you for the next chapter of Halvar's saga.